friends, it's Miss Victoria from the Ridgewood Public Library. I have a special story time for you today. It is for boys and girls, and it is just about being yourself and being kind to each other. So I hope you enjoy. We have a couple of songs to go along with our stories too. Our first book is called Equality with Simone de Beauvoir. She was a philosopher. And we're going to learn what that word means, okay? A philosopher is a person who loves wisdom. Wisdom means knowing things that help you live better and be happy. Simone de Beauvoir was a philosopher who lived in France. She believed all people were equal. She didn't like how people expected girls to do different things than boys. If girls and boys could do what they wanted and were treated the same way, they would be happier. Girls and boys cry when they feel sad. What is something that makes you cry? Everyone smiles when they feel happy. What is something that makes you smile? Girls and boys can play with fire trucks or dolls or dinosaurs. What is something that you like to play with? I bet you have a lot of favorites. Simone believed we should be who we are and listen to what we feel on the inside. We don't have to be the way everyone expects us to be. We just have to be ourselves. Simone thought we should care about people who are picked on or bullied. How can you be kind to someone who is being bullied? We should be kind and friendly to everyone, even people who are different from us. Simone believed girls and boys have the same right to be happy doing what they want to do. You can be wise like Simone if you accept people as they are and treat everyone equally. You can be a philosopher too. The end. I hope you enjoyed that book. So our first song is The More We Get Together. I think you may know this one, so sing along with me. The more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Good job. And now for our next story, we have Sam's New Friend. This is written by Thierry Gobert. I'm Sam. I'm strong and brave. On the playground, I only play with the other boys. I never play with girls. Boys are tough. Girls aren't. Sometimes Jack plays with the girls. All the boys laugh at him when he does. Hey, Jack, we say, are you a girl? Then he runs over and plays with us again. Yesterday, we got a new girl in our class. Her name is Ellie, and she looked sad. She chose a desk in the back next to another girl. When Mom picked me up after school, Ellie was there too. Ellie is my friend's daughter, Mom said. She's coming home with us this afternoon. I hope you'll play nicely with her. But she's a girl, I said. I didn't say a word in the car, but Ellie never stopped talking. She went on and on about school and our teacher. Then Mom said that Ellie was spending the night at our house. No one asked me if she could. Mom and Dad wanted me to share my room with Ellie. Dad had already moved my castle and my pirate ship to make room for her bed. I told him that knights and pirates don't like being moved. He told me to stop being selfish. But it's my room. During the night, a strange noise woke me up. It was Ellie, and she was crying. I waited for Mom and Dad to come in the way they always do for me, but Ellie was crying so quietly that only I could hear her. I got out of bed and sat next to her. "What's wrong, Ellie?" I asked, the way Mom always does. "I think my parents are getting a divorce," she said. I put my arm around her, the way Dad always does, and I stayed with her until she stopped crying. That's a good friend. The next morning, Ellie gave me a hug. "Thank you," she whispered. Being hugged by a girl made my face turn red, but being hugged by Ellie also felt good. I played with Ellie and her friends on the playground that day. Jack played with us too. The other boys stared at us and made faces, but we had fun anyway. Both of Ellie's parents picked her up from school that afternoon. They were going to have a family talk together. Ellie promised to call me that night. When I got home, all my knights and pirates were back where they belong, but my room didn't feel the same. When Ellie called, I ran to the phone. She doesn't know what's going to happen with her parents yet, but I know she'll be all right because she's tough. I'm Sam. I'm strong and brave, and so is my new friend Ellie. The end. I hope you enjoyed that book as well. I thought that was a really sweet one. And our last story is called Pirates and Princesses. This is written by Jill Cardman and Sadie Cardman. Ivy and Fletch had known each other their entire lives. That's 5 whole years, people. That's a long time for some of us, isn't it? Their mommies had been pregnant at the same time. They went shopping together and bought strollers and cribs and bottles and pacifiers and bouncy chairs and burp cloths and car seats and swings. There was lots of stuff. Stuff, and more stuff. The babies arrived one day apart, and then the mommies got together so the babies could play side by side. There were squeaky toys and rattling toys and musical toys and furry toys and fluffy toys and toys with googly eyes. Mostly, though, Ivy and Fletch just stared at each other and drooled a lot. That's what babies do. The babies grew and grew, though. They ate mushy food, then small food, then cut up food, and then real food. Gurgles turned to bubbles, turned to words, turned to sentences, even if the mommies couldn't understand them at first. No, mine. Sitting turned to crawling, turned to walking like a zombie, turned to running. Slow down, kiddos. In no time at all, Ivy and Fletch went to preschool. Some kids cried when their parents dropped them off, but Ivy and Fletch skipped off happily. While the others fought over crayons and costumes and trucks and puzzles and books, Ivy and Fletch shared nicely. Hey, they'd been sharing since they were wearing onesies in the drooly days. During outside time, snack time, story time, and nap time, the two were best pals. They did everything together. And then came kindergarten. That's where the big kids go. Ivy and Fletch were excited to find their cubbies right next to each other, just like in preschool. But they soon realized this kindergarten place was, well, different. Instead of sitting on the floor, they sat at tables. Instead of painting with their fingers, they painted with brushes. And nap time, that was gone, baby, gone. But there was a super new thing called recess. When the recess bell rang, the kids burst onto the playground. Ivy and Fletch ran to the swings where they played a game they invented. It was called Twisty Cakes. One friend twisted the other's swing around and then let go, making the other spin, spin, spin. But while Ivy and Fletch played on the swings together, all of the other girls were with the girls and the boys were with the boys. The next day, Hugh, Will, Harry, and Carter approached Fletch. During recess, they said, "Ahoy, matey! The jungle gym is our pirate ship. Come join our pirate team." Sasha, Eloise, Nancy, and Marina went up to Ivy and said, "Come to the playhouse. It's our palace. We are the princess team." The pirates brought Fletch back to their ship. They climbed up to the top tower. "What's the pirate password?" Will asked Fletch. "I don't know," Fletch said with a shrug. "Okay, I'll tell you, but it's top secret. You can't tell any of the girls. It's ARG." The pirates talked about superheroes and dinosaurs and cupcakes. They jousted and walked the plank and fought off a pack of flying sea dragons. "Ivy," Sasha whispered. "The special password to our princess palace is tiara." The girls talked about ballet and fairies and kitty cats and cupcakes. They pirouetted and braided hair and held ball gown fashion shows. Ivy and Fletch were having so much fun with their new pirate and princess poses that they were starting to forget each other. Almost. As the pirates made a treasure chest out of leaves and branches, Marina said, "Those grody boys are playing in the dirt. Ew." And while the princesses practiced ballet steps, Will said, "Girls are so silly. They look like a bunch of birds." Then one day, the pirates decided to do what pirates do. What could that be? Raid! "You know what this means, princesses," said Eloise as the pirates charged the palace. "War. The pirates chased the princesses chased the pirates." And then the pirates caught themselves a royal hostage, Princess Ivy. Ivy didn't mind at first, but then the boys made a wall around her. The other princesses tried to rescue her, but they couldn't break through. Fletch thought it was great fun until he saw Ivy's face. He knew that look, even from the diaper days. She was scared. "Let her out of the jail," Fletch demanded, pulling Ivy through the wall of boys. "Hey, are you a pirate or not?" demanded Carter. "Come on, Ivy," said Nancy, reaching for Ivy's hand. "You don't want to be near those stinky pirates." Ivy and Fletch looked at each other. Ivy linked her arm with Fletch's. "He's my friend," she said. All of the pirates and princesses gasped. "I'm sorry. I left you for the pirates," Fletch said. "I like those guys, but I've known you my whole life." Ivy agreed. "I liked being a princess, but I'm glad we can play stuff like Twisty Cakes again." Ivy stopped in her tracks. "That gives me an idea," she said, excitedly. Then she yelled as loud as any pirate could into the gusty winds, "All pirates and princesses, come to the swing set." Together, Ivy and Fletch taught the kids how to play twisty cakes. The kids twirled and giggled and yelled, "Whee!" and got dizzy and took turns doing it again and again. Little by little, other games followed, like leaping lizards, run from hot lava, and pin the tail on Miss Quackenbush. Soon the playhouse was just a playhouse, and the jungle gym was just a jungle gym. And instead of being growly captains and royal highnesses, they were just Will and Eloise, and Sasha and Hugh, and Nancy and Carter, and Marina and Harry, and Ivy and Fletch. They still played pirates and princesses for old time's sake, but there were no secret passwords, and anyone was allowed on either team. After all, there's a little pirate and princess in all of us, and whether you're as fierce and rowdy as the stormy seas or prefer a peaceful princess palace, one of the best pirate's treasures is a cupcake with friends. I agree. It's nice to be friends with everyone and find something that everyone enjoys doing. I hope you enjoyed that story too. And now for our final song. This is one that I remember from when I was a child, and it has been remade a few times and sung by many different people. But I am going to sing it for you today. Maybe you know it, and if you don't, I hope it becomes something that you sing again another time. It's called Free to Be You and Me. Okay? There's a land that I see where the people are free. And I say it ain't far to this land from where we are. Take my hand, come with me, where the people are free. Come with me, take my hand, and we'll live in a land where the river runs free, in a land through the green country, in a land to a shining sea. And you and me are free to be, you and me. I see a land bright and clear, and the time's coming near, when we'll live in this land, you and me, hand in hand. Take my hand, come along, lend your voice to my song. Come along, take my hand, sing a song. For a land where the river runs free, for a land through the green country, for a land to a shining sea, for a land where the horses run free, and you and me are free to be, you and me. Every child in this land, may you all understand that you're proud and you're strong and you're right where you belong. Take my hand, come with me, where the people are free. Come with me, take my hand, and we'll run to a land where the river runs free, to a land through the green country, to a land to a shining sea, to a land where the horses run free, to a land where the people are free, and you and me are free to be, you and me. Good job. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for joining me for this special story time. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a wonderful day.